I'm your daddy.
I can be smart when it's important.
I'm your daddy. I'm
Sorry to this
I'm your
man.
daddy.
Welcome to Daddy Dailies, a podcast hosted by Not Your Daddy's Films. On a film set, dailies are sent out after a shoot day so you can see the work in progress. Daddy Dailies are conversations that go behind the scenes so you can see what work went into the process and be better armed to succeed in the industry. Daddy Dailies, hosted by Not Your Daddy's Films.
Welcome back to Daddy Dailies. I'm Vika Stubblebine, one of your hosts and one of the founders of Not Your Daddy's Films. Today, I have two amazing guests with me. Julia Roth is a writer, actor, and producer who grew up in the entertainment world, starting off holding plays in her backyard and tormenting her brothers. Her work focuses on emotional comedy, trying to handle meaty topics, shame, trauma, with humor and lightness. She is also producing a slate of feature films, developing her solo show, Laser Bagel Symphony, amazing title, and is a proud co-founder of Hag Theater Collective. Or is it HAG?
No, it's Hag. You're right.
Okay, I was like, it should be.
It is witches.
We're all witches.
Mhm.
A Franco-Lebanese American, Sophie Tabet, is a writer-director whose voice is marked by a dynamic blend of genre storytelling and sharp comedic edge that playfully subverts expectations, often focused on drawing cultural bridges between the West and the Middle East, the straight and the gay, and the underdogs in between. Since the release of their feature film, which is out right now, Stone Cold Fox, Julia and Sophie write under their banner Bang Bang Pictures. Welcome to Daddy Dailies.
Thank you for having us.
So happy you're here. I was saying before we started recording that I watched the movie on my plane ride. I had downloaded it. It's not available on the plane, unfortunately.
I was
yet.
like, oh my God, it's on the plane.
I was like,
we made it
what
to
airline
the plane.
were you wearing the right headphones? That's literally what I'm thinking about.
It is really important because the music in the film
Girl,
is so key because, okay, so this movie, Stone Cold Fox, is like an homage / is an 80s like action thriller adventure, and it has like a lot of really amazing like set pieces and character introductions, and it's just super stylized. I'm gonna read the log line so you guys know what I'm talking about. But in 1986, the defiant Fox breaks out of an abusive commune in search of her family. But when the queenpin kidnaps her little sister and sends a crooked cop after her, Fox has no choice but to infiltrate the very space she escaped. And it stars Kiernan Shipka. We've got why am I blanking?
Kristen
Kristen Ritter,
Ritter.
who I adore. Like
I
from the Bee in
mean,
Apartment 23. Did
yeah.
you watch that?
Yes.
I watched it after
Knowing her.
we shot the movie.
What'd you
Yeah.
think?
I fell in love with Kristen
Yeah.
that I needed to watch
More of her?
6-7 seasons
Yeah,
of something.
you need to like absorb Kristen into your body.
I
You need to, like,
literally,
inject
I
her
was
into your
on
veins.
such a low. She was the last 10 days
Mhm.
or
Last
5
6
days, 6 days.
Mhm.
I don't know anything. I was
Yeah.
like blacked out throughout the whole thing. But by the time we wrapped, I was so, like all the adrenaline had left my
yeah.
body, and all I could do was watch movies of my actors because I missed them so much.
Wait, that's so
So I
sweet.
ended up watching. I don't even know how many seasons there are, but I was
Yeah.
texting Kristen the whole time, being like, "This episode and this episode." And she's
Yeah.
like, "I can't believe." And by the way, I was buying these seasons on
Because
Amazon.
like, are they available?
No, dude,
They're not streaming.
Like but yeah,
And
she's
Kiefer
the best.
Sutherland.
Chief Keef. I kept calling him Chief Keef.
Mhm.
Yeah. So great. I really, really enjoyed the tone of the movie. And
Oh, thank you.
I saw that you two were, or I think on Instagram said that this took like 7 years, right?
Yes.
To make. So where did the original concept come from? Did you start with a script, or was it like a love of 80s movies, or was it, how did you two?
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm doing it.
Well, I'm not. By the way, in case you didn't know, there's a lot of this nonverbal stuff happening between us.
You have the friendship telekinesis. Or
we have-
telekinetic.
It's
Telekinesis.
Is that when you can
Oh, no,
lift things?
yes, sorry. Okay, telepathy.
Could
I'm
you
like-
imagine?
You just start
I
lifting
lift Sophie.
objects.
She
You're just like,
go.
"Meow."
It was an idea first before it was anything. We were always interested in cult movies. We were always interested in 80s movies. The idea for the story came from we had been in a myriad of bad relationships.
Mm.
And so Goldie became this amalgam of toxic exes that we had had.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we were initially writing this story in a way that was very straightforward, that looked like things we had seen before. And there was a period where once we decided that Sophie was going to direct this movie, so we were writing it initially to write the movie and to say we want to do our own version of this and make it a little bit ours, but making it ours also means making it queer and making it, once we decided that Sophie was going to direct it, I in a very bossy way, pushed her to adding a Middle Eastern element to it.
I loved that.
And the truth is, and it's funny because I was just trying to figure out how to talk about this. I am so many different things, and we are so many different things as a duo.
Yeah.
And I think what this film does really well is showcase that's what the genre bending nature of this film is, whether it's breaking the rules of the genres that do feature or it's the way the characters are built. It is a direct, I think, translation of us. I've struggled with trying to identify myself because I'm so many different things.
Yeah.
And
this business asks you to like put it in a log line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Put your whole identity into a sentence. So
Exactly.
that I know what I'm buying and all of that. And I think that came through very much what you're describing in the film because yes, it's an 80s action thriller, but it's also like very funny. It's also like there's some really amazing cinematography. We'll talk about that later.
oh, my guy. Yeah.
And this, putting the Middle Eastern element, basically the main character finds herself staying with a family at one point as she's trying to get her family member. I'm trying to say this without giving too many spoilers, but I loved that family and the family dynamic, and like it didn't feel like a hat on a hat. It just felt like really defined characters who were not just there to serve like a plot purpose
Thank you.
and lived in and like real people. And I think that is missing a lot in thrillers specifically.
I mean, I had a specific goal, which was to represent the Lebanese community in a way that we haven't seen on film before. And typically Middle Eastern influence on film is either you're riding a camel or bombs are going off or it's turmoil or war.
Yeah.
And
they're very funny.
And well, the
characters in this.
The biggest thing about where I come from is we're known for our hospitality, and is that the word?
Yeah.
And our food.
And there's this amazing moment where, the people you're rooting for in the film versus the people who are after them, the cat and mouse chase of it all. And the mother of this family is trying to offer them food and drink to eat. And if, I think a very mainstream example, different culture is like, if you think about the parents in My Big Fat Greek Wedding, like, yes, that is a rom-com, but it's also this like, embracing of a whole culture. And I think it was so fun to see that in this genre,
Yeah. And that was actually, as Julia mentioned, a direct way for us to be able to
for yourselves
to bring that influence in. It was originally, I think, a Chinese restaurant or something.
Oh, I love that you changed that.
Julia was like, why is this a Chinese restaurant? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, why? I mean, I get it. You like Tarantino, but why is this a Chinese restaurant?
It does feel Tarantino-esque.
There are a lot of influences, and of course Tarantino is one of them. But that's when, the minute that we decided I was directing this, she was like, girl, this should be a Lebanese restaurant.
Yeah.
And then obviously it went from restaurant to a living room.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's we want to see ourselves represented on film. We want to see, like I wouldn't watch as many of these movies growing up because none of them ever really looked like me. They weren't that funny. They certainly weren't queer. I don't think we have any overtly Jewish characters in this, but emotionally I feel it's in the movie.
It is.
But also like that's something we discovered early on in our friendship is like our family cultures are so similar.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that cultures that are so similar are so often opposing.
Yeah.
Because like, that character is really after your aunt specifically and like could have been any one of my aunts.
Yeah. The aunt character was after my aunt, and the actress was like asked for receipts. Like I had to find pictures of my aunt in the 80s.
Wow.
And we styled her after Yumna, my aunt, who was like
love that.
my only aunt and who I love dearly. But it was great. And I think just to add to what you were saying in terms of it not feeling like it was, wearing a hat or whatever, I think even in terms of the queerness of this film, one of the most pleasant compliments we've gotten on this is that it didn't feel like it was queer to be queer.
Yeah.
And that even the queerness of it is not so overt, and it's not a question, and it's not it's just part of the DNA of the film.
Yes.
And that feels really good to me, I think.
I think that is so important to what you were saying. It's sort of why we started Not Your Daddy's Films to begin with, is we want more women and non-binary folks to be making the stories about us as like, seeing ourselves on screen. We just spoke with Mary Bronstein on the podcast, who did If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how when she went to find references when she was pitching the film or talking about the film, so many of these like women's stories were told or written by men. And it's not that those films aren't great, but there's just so few reference points for a funny, Lebanese aunt in the movie, or a mom, or whoever, or like, and I think it's so great. Like I felt really excited when I was watching this, because it doesn't feel like somebody trying to understand another person's culture. It just feels part, like you said, of the DNA. The characters, the story, whatever. It's not like the point. It's just that these people exist in this world, and that's what makes it fun, and you're like in it. So when you were talking about Tarantino and 80s references and everything, what were the films that you drew on for, inspiration for this specifically, I guess?
Story-wise?
Or visually.
Visually, there's a lot of stuff that you're like, oh. Licorice Pizza color scheme.
Was
actually the color. Oh God, don't get me started.
No, I love it. This is what we want.
Okay,
Yeah.
the color scheme. So Ken Sang, who's an absolute fucking genius, and we were so lucky to have him.
And he is, just for the people listening,
he is the DP.
Okay, great.
He's a veteran. He is far too good for our little movie.
How did you meet?
I had pitched a bunch of DPs to the producing and financing team. They said, "Go bigger," which was a beautiful thing to be told.
Yeah.
And they said, "Top 3. If you could have anyone in the world, who would you want?"
I love that question.
Ken Sang was at the top of my list, and we sent it to him. He read it. He liked it. We met up. We had a 2.5-hour meeting at All Time in Los Feliz.
Great spot.
And he called me a day and a half later and said, he had warned me that a bigger movie was circling.
Okay.
And he didn't know if he had gotten it or not. He called me a day and a half later to tell me he got the movie, but that he's turning it down. So he turned down a big old Hollywood film.
He's a legend.
He's such a legend. He was my shepherd in this. He's since become not my daddy. Like, he is, I love him. I love his wife. I love his children.
Yeah.
He's just the absolute best. But so he taught me so much. And one of the things that we did when we were devising the color scheme of this film is he likes to work with a limited amount of colors. And he said, let's pick 3 colors and let's work within that space.
Cool.
We went through art books. We, decided what our influences are. William Eggleston was the biggest influence. Bruce Davidson was an influence. And I love that he pulls from photography. His mother's an interior designer, so he has, it's very broad. It wasn't like false. It wasn't only cinema.
Like, let's just look at.
Yeah, we pulled from, my grandparents are interior designers, architects. So we spoke a similar language. And we ended up pulling from the Lebanese flag. So we pulled reds, blues, and then, reds, greens. I don't even fucking know the Lebanese flag. Reds.
I was like, it's kind of tattooed on your body.
Yeah, no, it's,
So
we pulled reds,
this.
greens, and
Yellow.
well, it's white, but in the flag,
yeah.
but that's not an interesting color. So we
did yellow.
We did like a gold.
Yeah.
So those are those are our primaries. Is gold, green, and red. Sorry, to answer your first question. Licorice Pizza was a big influence visually. Goodfellas is an influence in terms of camera movement, and also Boogie Nights, obviously. The Wizard of Oz was a huge influence for when she wakes up. We kept calling it Oz, when she wakes up in Oz, which is when she wakes up in the Lebanese house and she doesn't know where she is. Am I ruining the movie? No, I'm not ruining the movie.
You're fine.
You know, we made certain choices, like not making the ranch this like dingy Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene ranch, which was what
originally
had written, and then
which is a great movie,
which is a
great
fantastic movie.
and was a reference in terms of having a really manipulative. We looked a lot in terms of story about like, how do you have a cult that you can physically leave but don't emotionally feel like you can leave. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene was an exploration of that kind of like narcissistic manipulation in that way.
Well, and then the next question, and the way that we arrived to where we arrived was, well, what's a lesbian cult look like? Because it's a lesbian cult.
Yeah.
So what does that look like? I'm like, it's gonna be chic.
It's gonna be nice.
They're gonna have orange juice for breakfast. So, you know, and
it's so real. Like, especially straight men. I'm like, what are your
so at one point, so he's like, what do you think, a lesbian's gonna let mice run around here?
Yeah,
no.
We're gonna have shaggy, cool carpets and they'll be clean.
Yeah.
Now, listen, everyone's assumption was it was going to be like a creaky ass ranch. And for a while, I think we all thought it was. And this is the beauty of, I think, why I know I want to keep doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Something told me that I knew deep, deep down. And by the way, people will fight me on this. People will be like, hey, it would have been cooler if the ranch was like weirder. And it's like, no, I liked that it was nice. I liked that it was a nice ranch.
I liked that it was hidden in plain sight. You know, like, yes, like even, I shouldn't say that because it's a spoiler, but I think if you were on a road trip and you were driving by there, you wouldn't be like, that looks creepy. You'd be like, oh,
look at that house.
Yeah. I mean, she wants to build a pool.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I think it's more realistic, honestly.
I also just think it's very lesbian. You know?
I love that so much.
It's true.
Okay, so a lot of our audience are, they've made their first features or they're about to, they want to do what you guys just did. So how was the process for you of finding, I mean, I'm sure long and hard, but finding producers and getting to the point where you were meeting with DPs? Was that like years and years? Or...
Let me tell you a little story. We wrote a script, and it took a long time to get the script to a place where people were excited about it, like undeniably excited about it.
Yeah.
So that,
which is what you need, like when you don't have quote unquote a name or something.
100%.
Like, it's got to be undeniable.
I've done short film as a director. I had done short films. I had done commercials. I had done music videos. None of it matters, right? Because the minute you have a script and it's a feature length script, unless you have a short film that you're turning into a feature length, which by the way, we went to film school. They tell you this. Make your film, write your movie, write a short version, shoot that, get that into festivals, get finance for your film.
And be like, yes, I have the script.
And that is a real way to do it.
That's true. It's true.
We as a team, and I take a lot of responsibility for this because Julia's a pretty good student and I'm kind of love to break a rule. We were like, yeah. We're just going to write a movie. And then we're going to make the movie.
To be fair.
Well, hold on. I'm getting there.
Okay.
So we tried that. It took about, 3 years to get the script to a place where people were like, ooh, I want to do this, right? Like producers that we knew, that we'd met, producers, friends that knew, whatever. They were sending it around.
People were excited about it as a project for a while, but it wasn't yet like, hey, let's talk about next steps.
Right. And then all on our own, using our big brains, we realized, oh, no one's going to trust us to make this. We need to do something. We need to make a proof of concept. So we did.
Okay.
And we scraped together $8,000 and we asked for all the favors. And we shot a 1 minute 45 or 2 minute teaser.
Okay.
That slapped.
That's
in
amazing.
one day.
We shot it in one day.
During COVID.
Wow.
Yeah. I forgot that part.
Yeah.
COVID's a bit of a blur.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like testing everybody. I was like, I'm also the COVID monitor.
Yeah.
I have co-written this.
Yep.
I'm producing this, and I'm also gonna. Here's your COVID test.
Yeah. And were
Um,
you acting in that as well in the
no,
short
I
version?
wasn't in that one.
Yeah.
No, you weren't.
No.
What
But-
was the teaser like? Was it elements
I'll
of?
tell you what it
Oh, okay,
is.
great. Please, yeah.
It's so good. Actually, I'll send you the link.
Yeah, the teaser was great.
Yeah. Oh,
The
we should.
teaser was the fight sequence frozen in time.
The
Because
opening of the
what
movie.
happened was I knew I'd done some commercial work, I had
yeah.
done short films, whatever. I had never done action. And I
Yeah.
knew that was going to be what the big guns were going to fight me on.
That's
Like,
so
this
smart.
little girl doesn't know how to do action.
Yeah.
I actually even took some jujitsu classes just because I'm that thorough. And then it turned out to be a self-defense class, but that's a different story. Anyway, and so, but we didn't have the money to do action. So I was like, how are we going to make it so that we can showcase that I know how to do action without actually doing
Okay.
action? And that's when the frozen
That's where that came from.
the frozen scene was always in there. We just didn't think to use it as a means to
Right.
showcase
Mhm.
that I can do action. But so that's without
That's so
ruining the movie.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
There are a lot of videos that we have of us and our friends practicing
Yeah.
in her kitchen, and we're all like frozen
basically
in time.
the mannequin challenge.
It was the mannequin
Yes!
challenge
And it
in,
was
a,
the-
in a fight.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
so
know, it reminds me of I worked at Sony in the television department for many years as an assistant, and I was there when we were making For All Mankind, which is like a revisionist history of NASA. And so we built the surface of the moon on the set, and watching the actors pretend that they didn't have gravity was so funny. And the
I
show
bet.
is so serious.
Mhm.
that's so funny.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
it was just like,
Oh yeah, we had actors like one was strangling another and
Yeah,
deep
yeah.
quote strangling, and she was like on top of him and just for like a minute was like and we were just for like, oh,
And after a while, your jaw gets tired, and I'm like,
they
girl,
did great.
yeah, but I had to be like, shut your mouth, open it again.
Yeah.
Take a
Exactly.
break.
because you
Because-
forget, you're like, what does it look
yeah,
like when I scream?
You're like, now I just look like slack
Yes.
jawed, and
It's
you're
like
like,
when
no,
you say
girl.
a word over and over and it loses meaning. Like
Yes.
that's what it was like.
Yeah.
But so the proof of concept was the thing that got a financier interested ultimately.
You sent that basically as your pitch or to festivals or
Lorenza was working with a producer. They were asking her next project. Lorenza
Okay.
was actually attached to play Frankie for a while.
oh wow.
Up until
Lorenza is an actress. Oh, is it okay to say also your wife?
Is it okay? It's like my biggest pride.
Like,
I'm Lorenza's wife.
We're very private about there.
No.
Okay, sorry. So Lorenza was
Lorenza was doing a movie. She spoke to the producers about her next project,
Okay.
and then they got interested in our script,
cool.
and they signed on to it initially, and then couldn't put together the right financing
Sure.
because everything is sort of a
Which happens.
yes.
Well,
it happens all the
actually,
time.
that's a really nice way of saying it, but because these are first-time filmmakers, you guys should know. We got financing, it fell through.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we got the tax permit to shoot here, and we couldn't shoot in time, and it also fell through. I'm only saying this because
Yeah.
it really was like
Well,
green light, red light.
Yes.
Green light, red light.
also to be like thorough about it, we got financing that was not enough for us to make the movie, which is why it fell through.
Okay.
They didn't rescind the financing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had gotten these are sort of gross numbers, but like if
Sure.
we needed $5 million to make the movie as it was written at the time,
Mhm.
we got 2. And
Okay.
and like we couldn't make that gap happen so that the financing fell through
Would
as a
work. Yeah, yeah.
result.
Totally.
Which was like an
Devastating, I'm sure.
unbelievable heartbreak.
Yeah.
So the
But
movie
then-
kind of came together and fell apart, I think, almost
a
twice.
couple times,
Twice.
yeah. And then those producers who we love dearly sent us to, funny enough, other producers who, like, in order to help our budget go down, and instead of helping our budget go down, they called us. They're like, "Hey, can we make the movie?" And we were like, "Yes, yes, you can make the movie." And for
Wow.
them, the thing that to the first time
Yeah,
filmmakers,
yeah, yeah.
the thing that really sold it was the proof of concept. But here's the thing that I realized about everyone in the film industry: everybody wants somebody else to take the first risk.
Yes.
So if they want to come onto a project that's already going, or that has a director who's already made a movie because someone else took a risk on that director, or an actor that is already very big.
Yeah.
And so when you have something to show them, no one likes to use their imagination as much as you would want them to, because you're like, we're in an imagination industry. It would be so great if you also love to do this. But
once
don't.
money's involved, there's no more
No.
imagination.
Right, and it is a big risk. Like
Yeah.
producer hat on, it's a big risk.
Yeah.
It's a number of $1 million, like going
Yeah.
into something that you're like, I want to know that this is going to come back to me in some way.
Right.
It's a business decision in the end. So showing them the proof of concept and going, okay, here's Sophie's distinct style.
Mhm.
Here's what we're trying to make. Here's what we need from you. It becomes kind of an easier
Yeah.
ask.
I love that. And were you always, you were talking about how like once you two decided that you were going to direct it, did you know that as you were taking it out to find producers and whatnot? Okay.
At that point,
Yes.
yeah.
Jules and I have been writing together for, I don't know.
100 years.
200 years.
We've been writing together since the dawn of
But
time.
since college, right? And then we are now
Don't.
Not in
I
college.
mean, whatever,
not
I
in
don't care.
college.
Yeah.
I mean, I just realized how old I am.
Yeah.
I'm about to be 37. So you do the math.
I just, to set the record straight, I'm really digging being in my mid-30s.
I'm
I'm
also in
just
my
upset that I'm
mid-30s,
almost
yeah.
in my late 30s is my concern.
You get to decide when that starts. That could be 2 days before 40.
Also, Julia is a month younger than me.
I
I'm
turned
the baby.
35 on Sunday.
It's
and,
fun.
Oh, girl,
um,
you're in your mid 30s. That's perfect.
Yes.
But I
It gets
have
scary.
always been the baby in the room at work or whatever. I'm a writer. I work in TV.
Mhm.
I'm an assistant, but I have written for TV. No one cares. They all know this story. I was an assistant who got freelance episodes. This was going to get staffed, and then the show was canceled. So it's been a tough time, as we know.
Yeah.
So I took an assistant gig on with a producer that I know, and it's been fantastic. But I always feel weird saying I'm a writer, although I am, because
You are a
moment,
writer.
I'm not.
You're a writer.
Yeah.
That.
That doesn't matter.
No, I know.
You know?
But I'm used to being the baby in the writer's room. And also everyone, I mean, this is a nice problem to have, thinks I'm younger than I am.
Mhm.
You do.
I thought you were younger.
You've got like 28 energy, you know?
Thank you. But yeah, I think being actually in my mid-30s, I'm kind of thrilled because I feel like I like
Because
myself.
you're in,
And you know who you are.
35.
Yeah.
Talk to me when you're
In
about
2
to be
years.
37. It changes. Also, I went gray this summer from the movie.
From the movie.
Yeah. But it's cool. I'm a lesbian. It's fine. I rock it. That's not why I'm wearing the hat. I'm wearing the hat for promotional reasons.
And it's
Sophie's
a
like,
cool
no
hat.
one can see the
No,
gray.
no. I actually really do like my grays. I talk about them all the time. It's just more that it really is just the label of being in your late 30s.
Yeah.
Mid 30s, super chill.
Yeah.
Late 30s, because I remember being a kid and being like, I don't know, that guy's fucking old. He's 40.
But we're millennials. Like, it's also a different. I think my personal opinion is we have to rewrite the narrative.
We do have to rewrite the
I
narrative.
feel very fine wine. I'm excited. I think it just gets better.
Yes.
Can you imagine? I'm going to be so fun in my 70s.
By the way, I'm not
Yeah.
saying this is linear. I'm not saying it just gets worse. I'm saying I'm going through a weird phase, but like I look at my girls in their 40s that are radiant and I'm like,
Thriving.
I'm there for that. Like I've
Yeah.
always known I personally will peak at 40.
I feel that about my
Ooh.
40s too.
Defo.
I'm so excited.
I'm so
Absolutely.
excited.
So these are just kind of like rubbish years is what I'm saying.
But is the age of it all that you were like, I'm not gonna not direct this, like or does that not come into play?
No, I don't even know how we got to age, but my ADHD is insane. Sorry, I apologize. No. Oh, here's why. We've been writing forever. I've always wanted to
college.
direct. I went to school for directing.
Okay.
I was always planning on directing. And then this industry has a tendency to make you feel like you can't do things.
Yeah.
And all you need is your writing partner to be like, if not this one, which one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, there are some things that you write to not direct,
Mhm.
right? If you're a writer director, I think.
Sure.
I don't
have that gene.
I don't personally feel like I can do that anymore.
We'll be writing a scene. She'll be like, okay, so we come in on the toaster. And I'm like,
You're like, Sophie, we're writing on commission here? Like, this is...
there's already a director attached.
But how did you guys met in college?
Yeah.
Yes.
Although, actually,
Well,
Hyde Park,
Oh,
Daft Punk, summer...
Okay.
I'm sorry I'm doing this.
no, I love
I'm
it.
comfortable here, clearly.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do it. I don't remember the year.
Me? Okay.
I don't remember the year.
It was
2006.
the summer after 2007.
See?
I grew up in California.
Okay.
She grew up in London. We independently ended up, without knowing each other, at the O2 Festival in Hyde Park.
Big up.
And I remember so distinctly during the Daft Punk portion of this festival,
That was so good.
looking on the Jumbotron that they had and seeing this girl on this guy's shoulders and being like, yo, she looks really fun. And it was fucking Sophie.
Did you meet there?
No.
No. You just remembered.
We figured it out.
We figured it out when we
This
were
is witchy.
stoned.
This is witchy.
Yes.
No,
yes.
girl, hag.
Yeah.
Hag moment. We were in college and somehow
I'm sure we were
it
stoned.
came up, we were obviously stoned, we were in college, and it came up that she had been in London and you know, the O2 festival, that's like saying like the Verizon festival. Like no one knows about the O2 festival. She said the O2 festival, and it actually is that because it's a cell. It's a what's it called? Phone line. Whatever.
The wireless company.
Wireless company. And she said something to the effect of like, at the O2 festival. And I was like, hang on, you were at the O2 festival? And she was like, yeah. And I shit you not, she went,
It clicked.
and I was like, what? And she was like, were you on the jumbo screen during the Daft Punk? And I was like, that's the only time I've ever been on a jumbo screen. She's like, did you have stupid fucking like
I did
glow in
not
the
say
dark
that.
paint on your face? And I was like, yeah, dude, I
I feel like I did not say that.
I definitely would have called that very cool.
yeah, for sure. Anyway, isn't that nuts?
Yeah,
Wait,
that was.
really meant to be.
Mhm.
Oh no, 100% was meant to be.
Well, then the story of how we met is also goofy. I feel like we have a little bit of a like kids forever.
There's what's
thing.
that meme that's like, I will meet you. I don't even know why I'm calling it a meme. What is that thing about like, I'm sorry, I'm going to see you in every single.
I'll find you in every lifetime.
That's the one. Yeah, I
Aw.
think that's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, so we were
Very sweet.
at NYU. I was there for theater and acting. Sophie's there for filmmaking. My scene partner, Brianne Howie, was like,
oh my God. So Brianne Howie is on Ginny and Georgia.
yes, she's
very
Georgia and
talented,
Janine
yeah,
Georgia.
yeah.
And she was one of Sophie's best friends. And she had said to both of us, I really think you guys are going to like each other. And we're like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
She
And
still is, by the way.
She is. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
just mean at the time.
No, I know.
That's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we
yeah.
met.
It's like nothing happened. We love each other.
No, we love her so much. And we had seen what each other, like we kind of like knew who each other were, but we'd
Yeah,
never met in person. And so we were at a silent rave in our dorm's courtyard that I would later find out was organized by Sophie. And we were dancing and
That's
looked
very
at each
cool.
other and we
Yeah.
were kind of like, I think you're who I need to meet. And 6 weeks later, I was staying with her and her family in London.
What?
And that was kind of
And then
it.
she moved in with my grandma
I did. I moved in with your grandma.
in
Were
Paris.
you going to Europe to study more acting or
No,
Good question.
Yeah, so I grew up in a film family. I love acting. It is still my greatest pleasure. It's actually just like the most fun
It's
thing
so
in the whole
fun,
world.
yeah.
I can't believe it's a job. It's the greatest thing in the world.
I'm primarily a writer, but I studied musical theater and acting.
Yes, exactly.
It's the best.
It's,
Dorks.
it's the
I'm just
great-
kidding.
Yeah, and you
No,
know
we
what?
are.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
We play pretend.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you do.
Yeah.
And I watch you.
We all play pretend. I know.
You're the kid on the playground being like, now jump higher. You know,
I'm like, can you do that? One step over to your
Yeah.
left.
And I'm like, yeah, gladly. So I was acting, and then I had an existential crisis because I was, I'm the youngest of my family.
mm-hmm.
Or I like grew up the youngest in my family, and everyone ahead of me was a filmmaker, and I was like, I want to do something different, and I want to
Yeah.
see who I am and sort of test the boundaries. So I became a pastry chef.
What?
You got her.
I would listen.
That's gonna be a slam punch in.
I became
on
a
her
pastry
going,
chef.
I'm like
Can't wait to see the edit on that.
I was going to school on the East Coast. I had never really dealt with the winter before, and I decided I needed to start making something with my hands.
Oh,
So I was staying in a house on the side of a highway in upstate New York. I went to Bard my second year, and all of my roommates got snowed out, which means I got snowed in by myself. And I was like, oh my God. And I was reading the bell jar at the time, and I was like, I have to do a different thing. I literally was like, this is how I go. They're gonna find the cats are gonna eat me.
Oh no.
Like, we're gonna figure this out. So I started to make something with my hands. So my roommates came back. I had made a German chocolate cake, a French apple tart, and 2 dozen cookies.
And they were thrilled.
And I, of course.
Yeah.
And I was like, I might want, like, this could be something I do that isn't film. And so I went to Paris, lived with her grandma, went to pastry school.
I love that.
Followed
You
this.
still bake?
I do. I don't as often. Because
Ask her for biscottis.
nobody eats sugar. So it's like hard to, you know what? Okay. Well, I wish I knew. I'll send you something in the mail.
I know.
But yeah, and that's actually where, when we started working together, I was back living in New York City, working at, can I say that? Working at the Shake Shack. That's true.
Why could you say that?
I don't know. What if they call me?
Shake Shack, you want to sponsor the podcast?
Yeah, Shake Shack. It was really fun. You had great benefits. And we were already friends, and Sophie asked me to cater her short film.
Oh, amazing.
And so I catered it, and she was like, you make me feel really comfortable on set. And I was like, yeah, set's kind of where I'm most comfortable. Like in office, I feel like a bull in a china shop. At set, I'm like, this is home. And then after that, we started doing art department. She basically was like, do you want to do NYU movies with me, even though you don't go to NYU anymore? And I was like, yeah.
That's when we were like life partners.
Yeah. And then we co-wrote your thesis film for NYU. And that was how we started writing together.
It's funny because I was going to ask you, like, did looking at your resume, you've had every job, on set.
Yes.
And I think that's something that's super valuable to anybody who wants to be a director, a writer, an actor. Having a knowledge of how all the departments work together.
Yes.
It's kind of a theater thing. When I went to UCLA, we all had to do a semester in lighting, or do a semester, in everybody's shoes, basically. Walk up, I don't know, some metaphor. And that one
Nailed it.
Brilliant.
But 3 writers on a podcast.
What words can I invent? And I think that was super valuable to later, like when I was on SWAT and being on set. It's intimidating. There's so many different people knowing what their jobs are.
Did you just say SWAT?
Yes.
Lena Esco is a very good friend of ours.
Yeah. Okay. So Lena, I joined on season 5, right? And so I didn't work with Lena for as long, but she was amazing. Yeah.
We're going to the cinema on Saturday.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. She's a dear, dear friend.
Just love the crew so much in all of their roles. And I think that makes you a better artist.
I can't express how much knowing what the crew does helps you be a good producer as well. I worked for producers on True Detective, on Hot Tub Time Machine. I had been like on
same genre.
Yeah, absolutely. So similar as a job. And then I moved around working on set, and when it came time to produce my movie, I knew what everybody did, and I had so much more respect. Like I am so indebted to the crew. I think without the crew, like, it's just her and I like pretending to do something.
Playing pretend in the kitchen.
Yeah. But the crew is really like who makes the movie.
Yeah.
And it was interesting having, how do I say this without bragging?
That we learned every single person's name on the call sheet?
We did. Of course we learned every single person's name on the call sheet.
No, like she was quizzing me on the first day of set.
We were driving to set and I was like, okay, best boy grip.
I love that. You did that. That's
and
important.
by the way, it made a difference to them.
This is what I was going to say is like the crew has reached out since the crew reached out at the time when things are difficult, knowing who they are, respecting who they are, remembering things they say, remembering their names.
Yeah.
They've been like, this is the best job I've ever had.
Yeah.
And was it the greatest, like cushiest set? Of course not. It's an indie movie, but we've gotten so many.
And we made lifelong connections.
Yeah.
Like these people are unbelievable.
They're so talented. It's honestly like being a conductor and having like first chair violin, first chair cello. Like I would love to learn how to do G&E, how to do grip and electric,
Mhm.
but it's just like such an unbelievable like set of talents that you're not necessarily taught. And so when you have reverence for the crew, they show up to work for you. And
Yeah,
it's this,
yes, it's a respect because a lot of
Mhm.
people unfortunately come in with an ego and no respect for the people who are bringing it to life.
yes.
And I think it's just really nice to hear you both talk about that because
Mhm.
I think that's the world we want to see every time we go to make a film or a TV show. So what is your process of writing together? Do you have a process?
What is our process of writing together?
So Jules and I have been through years of this, and
Yeah.
I think it's funny. Our first project felt so exactly the two of us.
Mm.
It was a bit of her, a bit of me, and it made so much sense. And then this movie came about, and this also. I mean, we had a bunch of other stuff in between that we started to realize, like, oh, this is more like Sophie. You are more excited by this, and
Yeah.
oh, Julia, you're more excited by this. So when one was more excited, that person would typically lead.
Okay.
And what that means is, if I'm leading, I'll be like, "What about this?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Jules
yeah.
will be like, "The thing is, I'm also English is my second language, or it's tied.
Tied for first.
tied for first,
Yeah.
but we like to joke that I'm very ESL sometimes because I'm actually not proficient in any language is what we're finding out. I know like 3.5 and I'm kind of just average in all three. But but Jules is, I think, at least when we started, was the more prolific writer. And I think it's fair to say she still is. Like she can just boop, 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 boop,
I'm a
boop.
very good first drafter, and I hate rewriting. And we'll go. So we'll have an idea for something. We'll talk about it. We'll usually take our dogs to the park and throw a ball, and like just toss a ball back and forth and be like, "What about this? What about that? Maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like that. Let's watch 100 movies or TV shows that are exactly like that thing to see what of the world we want to soak up." And then we'll get to sort of a story breaking place. And I mean, just like very technically, we'll go story break, outline, slug line with the description underneath, and then sort of move through it. And my brain wants to go, great, and now I'm gonna write the whole thing, and here we go. And then she'll be like,
Yeah.
hey, you like didn't think this thing through, or wouldn't it be more interesting if we did this? Or
And I
doesn't
always
this
go,
open up a
Jules, you're
world?
gonna hate me, and she's like, what?
Yes.
And I'm
it's
like,
true.
we didn't really think this through because blank, blank, blank. And she's like,
And I'm like, but we're so close. We're
she's
so
like,
close.
but we did the whole thing like that. And
I
I'm like,
will say
yeah.
it's 50-50. Like there's like today, for example, there was something that we had thought through this script a million times because
The script better be fucking good.
we
we have
the
thought
one
about
that
the
we're
script.
writing now because it's a puzzle film. So you have
Ooh.
to be extreme.
Yes.
Like you have to
You
really
need all
work
the
through it.
pieces.
We had done the work of something. And then she was like, I can't work knowing that there's this like thing in place. Like, can we kind of like forget about it and see what happens? And then today she's like, oh, that decision that we had made before. And I was like,
The key is,
sure enough.
you gotta laugh about everything.
Yes.
You
Because
gotta
I'm
forgive
wrong.
everything.
I'm wrong 50% of the time too.
But
Yeah.
we have it's a very well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And I think we do switch off when, again, like if it's more my genre or more her genre, we're also in a place very excitingly where we're now grown up enough to go, Sophie, I don't want to write that.
Yeah.
Or Julia, I'm not going to fucking write your musical theater thing with you.
Oh, no.
No offense. It's
I'm
not
none
for
taken.
me.
I don't want you to write it if you don't want to write it.
But
yeah.
she's like halfway through a second draft of something, and she's at the point where she's like, okay, now I need your brain.
I did. I texted her last night and I was like, I hate rewriting without you.
And you know, we're under this where we've got company together.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no it's not a complicated conversation.
Yeah.
But like, for example, when we met with our agents, I pitched something that I was excited about. They reacted. They were like, that's great, go write it. And then Jules called me and was like, how do you feel about me not writing that with you? And I was like, I'm terrified. She was like, I'll hold your hand, but go off and do it without me. And
You're
so
gonna be brilliant at it. Like
Thank
it is
you.
so for you.
we'll see.
It is.
I might make it
It's-
musical theater just to get you back on board. I'm just kidding.
I kind of think that's what happened with Mitzi, with the puzzle film, where it's like we were writing a murder mystery, which is much more Sophie's vibe. And now the lead of the murder mystery is like a Broadway star. And I'm like, okay, so
It's amazing.
No, but you know what? Also, the
Yeah.
truth is, I want you involved, and I want her to be a Broadway star. I
Mhm.
think it's a
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
idea.
I think it's also what makes our movies unique.
Yeah.
And it's what makes Stone Cold Fox unique is like, I'm so interested in writing comedy. It is so naturally what my brain does that like when we were considering this movie and when we consider any movie, I literally go, is it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Turns out I like comedy too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We like different kinds of comedies.
Yeah.
But we do.
Yeah.
But
yes and no. Yeah.
but we
the
also
Venn diagram is quite big.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't even
That's
remember what the question was. Oh, what's our process?
your process, but I think
It's
what
this.
I'm
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
seeing and hearing and just
Mhm.
talking to you guys for not even a full hour, I'm like, oh, you have obviously because it's deep rooted friendship, but a lot of respect and communicate
That one.
well, but communicate respectfully. So it's like if I don't like an idea or I need to investigate an idea because
Mhm.
you're going to need to walk me through it to, for me to get on board with it, to be able to write it, to your point of like, well, I don't want to write that, or I need more information to be able to write that
Mhm.
is really key, I think, to any creative partnership. I feel like you have your own mini writer's room,
We do. And
That's-
I
yeah.
think it's because we're both Aquarius.
Oh,
Because there's like no question.
yeah.
The other one's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I offer that to a lot of people around me, and I don't always get it back. She's one of the only people that makes me feel like the rug is not going to be pulled from underneath me. The walls aren't going to fall off. The ceiling's not going to fall through.
Yeah.
Like, and so it allows us to be vulnerable enough to
Yeah.
say, hey, I really want to do this. I don't think I can do it without you.
Mm.
Or I don't want to do it without you. Or what if I do it and it sucks? And we have each other's backs first and foremost.
I'm
love
secure attachment at its finest.
Yes.
Yeah, it really is. It's
Yeah.
like so beautiful to see.
But
Oh, thank you.
it does really I think there's something else that we have started to do because of how secure it is. There's something I learned in theater that I say all the time. We serve the story and not ourselves. By serving the story, we serve ourselves. And so like there are projects that
She's
she
very
will
religious.
No, think of it as new age. Turn it to new age.
It's
You just
witchy.
said it in a way that was very like,
I'm really. Can't you see how religious I am? As a person? Don't I just read Mother Mary to you?
Magdalene more like.
Stop it, guys. Honestly,
Yes,
bit of
slut.
slack. No, but like there'll be a project she'll talk about, and I'll be like, okay, how can I make it more like me? And then come to her and be like, you know what? The project is better the way that you're thinking of it. So I think you should do the project like this, or unless we're going to do it this way, like we don't need to like contort it into something that works for us. It might not be the thing,
Right.
because it's like, how do you do justice to the art piece? And if it isn't really a match internally, it's like, okay, have you read Big Magic?
Yep.
Okay. So there's the idea.
You guys, by the way, are supposed to be friends.
I
mean, not that
know.
we're not, but you guys are really supposed to be
I
friends.
know.
As soon as I saw you in the street, I was like, she's one of us.
I love that.
We're
Thank
fine.
you.
In Big Magic, there is the concept that an idea comes to you, and if you're not the right person for it, or if you don't do it in time, it goes to somebody else.
You talk to me about this all the time.
But of course, if Elizabeth Gilbert needs a hype woman, I am here. But I think that's sort of true of like,
Yeah.
this script that we're writing now, for example, has been with us for such a long time. And that kind of lets me know this is our idea, because
Yeah.
we're like, no, like we can still kind of catch something
Mm.
and make it ours.
I like that.
Yeah. But I think there are certain ideas that we have that we're like, this is objectively great. We might not be like the shepherds for it.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. And for those who are listening and not watching, Sophie rolled up her sleeve to show us a tattoo. What's
Yeah.
happening?
Mhm.
What's the story?
Okay.
Because you're such fans of our friendship, obviously, after
Yeah.
what has been 45 minutes of us talking on top of each other. I don't know how you're going to edit this, but
No, it's
who,
been
who am I? It took us, 15 years to get a friendship tattoo?
Uh-huh.
And you were talking about telekinesis, which is not what this is. This is quantum entanglement,
Yes.
which is what we got tattooed.
Yes. Quantum entanglement is a concept within string theory that essentially says that the more time that you spend with someone,
Yeah.
the more that your
Like life.
atoms
Oh,
essentially get shared. So like we have spent so much time together that we are a part of each other quite physically.
Cool.
So we decided to get these tattoos. We found an image and doctored it, and we decided to get these tattoos. And so I have a tattoo
I love
that
that.
has, the stars around it and leads towards hers. However,
What?
we
I did
had the
This
placement.
is actually
planned.
such a perfect example of
Yeah.
our dynamic and everything that's wrong with me.
Okay, you had your placements planned, and
And
you didn't go
Sophie-
get them together?
We did.
Okay.
We went and got them together.
We just didn't think it
I
through.
went first. Then Sophie was like, actually, I don't want to do mine there. I want to do mine on the back. And I was like, okay, cool. So now they're supposed to just lead right towards each other.
Oh.
So if you would lift your elbow. So now I can't even do it from this angle. It has to be that.
I can't wait for that to be the picture.
I mean, we'll get up and do it because what happens is I have to get down on one
She
knee.
kneels and does this, and then I go down like that.
Wait, that's so funny.
we have to
kind of-
contort to make it fit.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's sometimes filmmaking. So
Got to contort to make it fit.
I feel like somehow an hour is blowing by.
my
Let me see.
I'm sorry, we've answered none of
Having
your
a
No, you
questions.
podcast is
have, you
really
have.
fun.
Wait, you know what? Before
What?
you ask anything,
What?
I need to tell you something.
Tell me. Okay.
Do you know what the name of our pizza parlor was in our movie? It's Not Your Daddy's Pizza.
It's the same.
That is
name.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
It was meant to be. We were meant to meet. We were meant to be
100%.
friends. I was meant
Yes.
to see your movie.
Hag.
Hag. Okay, so I think let's do you guys want to do the hot take?
Yes.
I found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Make reshoots
Mandatory.
mandatory. Program your budget
Yeah.
to include reshoots
No matter what.
No matter what.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, because I didn't get reshoots.
I think.
Yeah, no go.
Okay. Why I think you feel that way.
You would know.
It was something that I observed in watching her in post is you do your best with everyone's schedule. You put a movie together, and then once it is edited, you see what you have,
Yes.
and then you go,
You see what you don't have.
you
Yeah.
see what you need. And that is, if you are at a place where you can't have reshoots or your crew's not available or whatever it is, I know it is a very difficult thing to plan for,
Mhm.
but only once the movie is as assembled as it can be,
Yeah.
do you see what else you need.
Yeah.
So to not have the budget for it, to not have scheduling for it or any of those things, it puts the filmmaker on the back foot.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
make reshoots mandatory.
Make reshoots mandatory. And by that, I
Okay.
just mean on a budgetary level.
Also,
right?
maybe
Like just budget
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't budget for it and then let it be the first thing that goes out the window.
The thing that gets cut when you're like, we got to cut something.
Just
Yeah.
budget for it.
Yeah.
I think,
I think that's smart.
have the foresight.
yeah, it should be mandatory to make reshoots financially available.
I think this is really good advice because that's not something that if I were to go make my, first feature that I would think of,
Yeah. And I wanted it to be funny and it's not funny.
No,
But
that's
guess what? The
fine.
rest of this thing is funny.
Yeah, I
so
mean-
this is a very serious moment.
This is
Real
good.
advice.
Yeah.
It is. I think it's really important. I
Yeah.
think it can be hot in any way. I
Mhm.
was, I forgot what I had come in here with for my personal hot take, but I've been thinking about this with the podcast, which is very new. And I've just been shooting my shot with any directors that or creatives of any kind that I think are cool and interesting and I want to talk to them and hear about their whatever. And I think at one point I was like, oh no, that seems so thirsty or like whatever. And I'm like,
Who
Be
cares?
thirsty.
Be
Be
thirsty.
be thirsty. Like you're not gonna get what you want if you don't ask for it.
No one's gonna
Yeah.
hand it to you.
No.
You be the squeaky wheel. Be
Yeah.
a joyful, warm person with boundaries, but be thirsty.
Yeah.
Why not?
Exactly. Warm person with boundaries. Don't be a creep, but
Yeah.
also be thirsty.
Be thirsty.
Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, wait, I have one more hot take that Sophie
Yes,
doesn't
please,
like.
please. Okay.
I think if you're on the phone in the movie theater, you should get kicked out.
I don't like this one.
I
I just think
You could
what are
re-
we in what kind of
By the way, yes,
Yes,
whatever
we
you're
are.
gonna say,
We are. We're-
100%.
yes.
We're in an authoritarian regime
Yes.
anyway.
Yes,
but
that's
we don't
true.
have any of the good parts of rules.
What do you
listen-
think happens? You get like physically removed from the theater?
Yeah, I think an usher comes over and says, "Excuse me, I think you have to leave the theater. You're ruining the experience for other people. We have paid $23 at this point before parking.
Become
before
an AMC
popcorn."
A-lister and you'll be fine. $27 a month.
I
Three
need
movies a
your,
week
I
for
need
free.
a little bit more of your support on this one.
Okay, it's not a bad idea.
Thank you. Because listen, you could rent it on VOD. There's so many other ways to
Yeah.
do it in the privacy of your own home. We have forgotten after COVID how to be in community.
You know what? You're
and
fucking
in
right,
public.
dude. You're right.
Thank you.
You're right. No, you're right. And by the way, if people are watching, you watched it on a plane, not ideal.
Nope.
For me, but I'll
get
forgive
that.
you. My father texted me throughout the entire movie that he was watching.
Yes.
And I was like, put your fucking phone down, mate.
We-
Watch
pe-
the movie.
People have worked so hard to make the
Yes.
thing that is in front of you. I have now experienced that thing firsthand. Like, I was in a movie the other day and somebody was on Snapchat.
No.
I know.
We
and
don't like that.
And I was like, first of all, respect the art that's in front of you. Respect the people around you who have paid at this point so much money to go see it. But also, like, we have to remember how to be in community and in public.
Yeah.
High five, bruv.
Thanks, man.
I love
you've
it. I
convinced me.
think
Thank you.
that's truly, yes. And me. I feel very strongly about that
Right.
as well. And I think it's kind of the perfect note to end on because I can say, go see it in a theater
Yeah.
and leave your fucking phone
Yeah.
in your purse,
You have
in
2
your
more
pocket.
days to see it in theater.
Yeah.
When is this out? I don't know.
I think in like 2 weeks.
Okay,
But
it's
it'll
out of the
also be
theaters.
available in video on demand. And I've been trying to leave my phone in the other room when I watch at home because I'm just like, I do. I want to appreciate the thing.
You're right.
And I really appreciate you both being
We
here.
appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Where can people follow you, find you, see your work?
We are both on Instagram.
So fresh. Is
Okay.
my Instagram
That's
double
true.
double H's? You're not gonna find me, but you might. You can find her. If you find her, you'll find me.
Well, mine's Julia S. Roth. And if anyone has a better pitch for what mine should be, I'm really open to it.
Okay, DMs are open.
DMs are open.
And Daddy Dailies is Daddy Dailies Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And I'm at Vika Stubbs. And we'll see you next time.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you.
Daddy Dailies is a production
That
of
was
Not Your
so
Daddy's
fun. I
Films,
was
a
so
social
nervous.
impact organization dedicated to educating and empowering women and non-binary creatives in TV and film. If you like what you heard today, click subscribe and leave us a positive review. If you want more Daddy episode insights and to be the first to know about in-person events, follow Daddy Dailies Pod and NYD Films on Instagram and TikTok. Daddy Dailies is edited by Vika Stubblebine and Carly Tamarin. See you next time, Daddy.